Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you are joining. And from wherever you are joining, I'm really glad that you're here. And I wanted to start today by sharing a bit about a video that a friend texted me last week or the week before. It was a short video that she sent. It was, in her mind, reframing a stressful time that she was going through. And I'll tell you a little bit about the video. The gentleman in the video was named Dr. Abraham Twersky, and he was relating our response to stress to lobsters. And it seemed timely, so I'm going to share it today. So he explained that as a lobster grows, its shell just becomes cramped. So they start to become very cramped in their shell. And at that point, the lobster only has one choice. And the choice is to shed its shell in order to grow a new and larger shell. And during that time, it's very vulnerable and it usually has to hide under some rocks and maybe bury itself a little bit with some sand. It becomes vulnerable to the elements that are around it, potential predators. But at this stage, the lobster has no choice because it needs to shed that shell. And whatever it had around it was just not spacious enough to allow it to grow and to flourish. And because of that discomfort that the lobster has and the shell that it has to get rid of, it then comes into this new place of growing a new shell. And with that new shell forming, then it goes through this process of expansion, shedding another shell, expanding again, and shedding its shell until finally it has its shell for life. And essentially that comes at a later stage in life, as I understand it. And so Dr. Twersky describes the cycle that happens as the stimulus for the lobster's growth being discomfort. And he added in the video with a little bit of humor that if lobsters had doctors, they would never grow because as soon as the lobster felt uncomfortable, then it would go to the doctor and it would get a Valium or a Percocet and it would be fine because it would never shed its shell. So I thought that was kind of a funny little twist in the end. But the story just reminded me so much of the seasons of our own lives as human beings. And we all have these periods when we outgrow the way we've been and when we are uncomfortable and maybe we're overwhelmed, but that discomfort is a signal of our own growth and our own potential. And the invitation when we're feeling that discomfort, we feel like we're exposed and we are maybe sharing a new part of ourselves, is to trust that something far greater than we even know is possible is unfolding for us. And it's unfolding for our highest and our greatest good. It's not working against us, it's actually working for us. And so to me, that's an encouragement. And as I'm talking about this, I'm thinking about my friend who was like, this is just really helpful because it was encouraging me to take a leap of faith when I felt really vulnerable. And so I am thinking about this in relation to ourselves too, and embracing that tender time, that in between time when we feel like we're not quite where we want to be yet, or we are in the stage of becoming something new, and allowing ourselves to become this truer and freer and fuller version of ourselves, to shed that shell. So as we move into today's meditation, um, I'm thinking about the ways that we could hold lightly this story of the lobster and perhaps noticing any habits or comforts or relationships or parts of identity perhaps that might need to be shed, and maybe asking the question without really even needing to know the answer, but just asking the question, what shell have I outgrown? Um, Where do I find that I'm trying to expand, but I'm feeling constricted? And maybe how might I soften into the spaciousness of what comes next? So, as the saying goes, the trees are about to show us this season how beautiful it is to let things go. And so that is my encouragement today is what is it that you can let go? We will today be doing a body scan and we'll be meditating for about 20 or 25 minutes. I think I may throw a little self inquiry in there as well. So we'll just see what happens. And I'll track the time. So go ahead and get yourself into a comfortable position that allows you to be alert and relaxed, and a position that you can be in for the next 20 minutes or so. You can rest your hands in your lap or at your sides. And if you're inclined to gaze softly at a point in front of you and keep your eyes open, you're welcome to do that, or simply close your eyes and come into the present moment, tuning into the contact points beneath you or between you and the seat beneath you or the ground beneath you. Noticing the sound of the stillness. Letting anything go that came before this and welcoming this time for yourself, this time to check in and tune in. Gradually deepening the breath in through the nose and out through the nose, signaling to your body that it's okay to relax. There's nowhere to go and no place to be, but right here. Returning your breath to its natural rhythm and depth. And with each inhale and each exhale, settling more deeply into the support beneath you. Perhaps thinking of it like sinking into warm water. All parts of you relaxing and letting go. Breathing in and breathing out. Noticing the sensations of the breath, the cool air as it enters your nostrils, moves into your lungs or your belly, and back out your nostrils, warm, smooth. Tuning in to your feet on the floor beneath you. The sensation of your hands at your sides or in your lap. And we'll begin to explore the body now with curious attention. As I highlight various areas of the body, gradually move your awareness slowly and deliberately to that particular area, allowing your attention to rest for a few seconds in that place, and then continuing to move on to the next, noticing every sensation, paying particular attention to places that might feel tight or constricted. Those places in the body where perhaps you may have outgrown the tension or the constriction and are ready to move through. Let's begin with the top of the head and the scalp, tuning in to any sensations, moving your attention to your forehead, softening any creases above your eyebrows, perhaps any creases around the corners of your eyes. Relaxing your cheeks, letting your ears settle ever so slightly. Moving your attention to any sensations in your lips and your mouth. Releasing the jaw and letting your tongue be heavy. Perhaps even allowing a slight adjustment with the roof of your mouth. Letting it also be heavy and relaxed. Tucking your chin slightly and allowing the back of your neck to expand and lengthen. Tuning in to the sensations of your neck and throat. Noticing any tension that might be present in this area. Allowing it to soften and move through. Drawing your attention now to your shoulders. Allowing the shoulders to release and lower. Letting any feeling of carrying weight on your shoulders simply let go and release. There's nothing that you need to carry in this moment. Tuning into your arms as they hang at your sides or in your lap. Moving your attention from your shoulders to your biceps, triceps. Releasing any tension in your elbow or in your joints. Moving your loving attention to your wrists, in your hands. Noticing if you sense any gripping or holding. any other sensations that might be present, allowing them to move through. Now bringing your attention to the sensations in your upper back, noticing any places of carrying tension in your spine. Easily moving your attention to your mid-back, scanning that area for any tension, any constriction, and tuning in to what that part of your back might be wanting to share with you. Bringing your attention to your lower back, and also bringing a gentle curiosity to any places of tension or discomfort. Allowing everything to be exactly as it is, without any judgment. Bringing your attention to the front of your body, tuning in to the sensations in your chest, in your rib cage. Perhaps even thinking of the rib cage as your own personal shell. Noticing any places of constriction as you breathe in and breathe out. Moving your attention to the heart. Noticing any places that might need to settle, to be released. Perhaps even to relax. Seeing or feeling or imagining the heart opening, relaxing with each pump of blood, each part of the fluid in the heart circulating and feeding all other parts of the body. Relaxing your diaphragm in your belly. Letting any places of tension draw your curiosity or move through. Softening your hips, your pelvis, and your rear. Feeling the support beneath you. Becoming curious about any tension, any clenching, any resistance that you might be holding in this area. Knowing you are safe and supported. Moving your attention to the tops of your legs, noticing any places of tension, any twinges of discomfort as you scan from your hips through your thighs, tuning in to your knee joints, your calves, your ankle joints, and your feet and toes. Noticing if there are any sensations that cause constriction, any tension. Letting everything move through the body at its own pace. You might sense now into the entirety of your body. Noticing any places that might draw your attention again to discomfort or tension or constriction. The invitation is to explore these areas. You might ignore these areas for a time, or perhaps shift if the body is in discomfort. Anything and everything is allowed as you integrate all parts of yourself, all places in the body, into one cohesive whole. We'll rest in this space for a minute or two, and I'll track the time. Bringing your attention now to an area of your life where you might feel tightness. Could be anything physical, could be emotional, could be resistance to a particular circumstance, even a person in your life. Breathing into this area of your life with gentle attention. And for a moment, allowing it to be exactly as it is, without any resistance. You might tune in to what you notice, what sensations arise, perhaps any sounds that appear, any words that come to mind, any colors that might be shown. There's no need to figure anything out, just observing what's happening for you moment to moment as you tune in to this area of your life. Imagine now that any tightness that you feel begins to soften, even slightly. No forcing in any way, just allowing it to become more fluid. Perhaps thinking of it like ice melting. If other areas of tightness come to your attention, you're welcome to include them in this gentle expansion. Simply acknowledging over and over again what is there and what is present. And bringing your loving attention to each area, allowing them to soften over and over again. We'll rest in the stillness and the sensation of the space in between. And I'll keep track of the time. You might ask yourself now, what have I outgrown? Maybe even asking yourself, what do I long for in my becoming? There's no need to find an answer if nothing occurs to you. It's perfectly fine. Just the act of sitting with the question is powerful. What have I outgrown? I invite you now to bring your hands to your heart for a moment and gently repeat this affirmation to yourself in silence. I shed the parts of me that no longer serve me. I soften into the spaciousness of what comes next. I'll repeat those one more time. I shed the parts of me that no longer serve me. I soften into the spaciousness of what comes next. As this meditation draws to a close, you're welcome to place your hands back on your lap. You can gently move your fingers and your toes. If you want more expansion, you're welcome to bring your arms out to your sides or overhead. And taking in all you're becoming. Perhaps even thinking of this experience as a way to plant seeds this fall for all that you're looking forward to creating in your life with spring. And when you're ready, you're welcome to blink your eyes open. Taking in your surroundings with fresh eyes. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, honoring yourself, this time for yourself, and exploring all the ideas, the feelings, sensations, everything that was a part of today's meditation. May you take that forward into the space of becoming. Namaste. We'll see you next time.